Tonight, the tension between the former Member of Parliament for Domi Kwabena and the New Patriotic Party is far from over. Today, Adwa Safo arrived at the party's headquarters for a scheduled disciplinary hearing, only to be told it had been postponed indefinitely. Shocked and visibly frustrated, she questioned the leadership for blindsiding her with the last-minute cancellation. Kenneth Jesse has more in this report.
A committee hearing, and I come and they say the committee is not sitting. So I just pack my bag and just come out. But I think that as a party we ought to be.
You will recall that the former Domi Kwabena MP, Sarah Drasafo, appeared on polls on the JoyNews channel and alleged that the party's committee is set up to investigate the party's abysmal performance in the 2024 general elections has been set up to discredit the party's 2024 flag bearer Mahmoud Bawumia, which led to the MPP summoning her to appear before its disciplinary committee today. However, Adwa Safo expressed her disappointment when she showed up at the party's headquarters, only to be told that the meeting has been suspended indefinitely.
I'm prepared for a committee hearing, and I come and they say the committee is not sitting. So I just pack my bag and just come out. So why ridicule me in public and come here and tell me that the committee is not even sitting? The message you send to the whole of Ghana is that I've done something untoward and I'm coming here to be disciplined. 3-term member of parliament, and this is how I'm ridiculed. Come and there's nobody there to sit.
A day earlier, the MPP General Secretary, Justin Kodua-Frimpong, said the decision to postpone the meeting was due to the magnitude of the alleged drug trafficking scandal. Justin Kodua indicated that the party is now focused on questioning government on the matter instead of engaging Adwa Safo.
What the party is going to discuss is the running issue with respect to the alleged drug trafficking in our country. The rank and file of our party have expressed its disappointment and the worrying behavior of this government, and the several questions, mind-boggling questions that we are expecting the government to explain to the good people of Ghana, and also the inconsistency in its attempt to sweep under the carpet several issues that concern or surround the alleged drug trafficking in our airport.
Meanwhile, the MPP's Deputy General Secretary Haruna Mohammed insists the party formally communicated to Adwa Safo that the meeting would not come off.
Well, let's go on to the Zoom now and speak to political scientists at the University of Ghana. Dr. Kwame Asante. Doc, I want to pick your thoughts on what you do make of this particular development, that she was invited to the meeting, but according to the party, they also sent her a message that the meeting would not be coming on. But the former MP ends up there. In the party trying to resolve this issue, what do you make of all the mishaps coming up?
You will recall that the former...
There is something which doesn't add up. Because if you listen to what Madam Adwa Safo is saying, it's quite different from what the Deputy General Secretary is also saying relative to communication that was supposed to flow from the committee to Madam Adwa Safo. And that said, I believe that whatever it is, I expect the committee to sit and then do their work so that at the end of the day, they furnish us with all the details that we need to know. It is based on this that they will be able to deal with some of the lingering challenges that have confronted the party for a very long time. From where I sit, I believe that these are issues born out of what? The inability for the party to resolve some of the conflicts within the party. So it has blossomed to this level and creating all manner of problems. As a party in opposition, it is important that they consider this as an important issue as they are also looking at the drug issues. Because your inability to deal with your internal problems has its own challenges, and that cannot be shoved under the carpet. We agree that it is important to look at the cocaine allegation But I want to also see the party in that direction. If they believe in so much, provide the government or the security apparatus with all the necessary information that will enable the security apparatus to do their work, and then we all get to the bottom of it. So,
but if they are alleging that there was cocaine, and the security apparatus knows that there wasn't, why not security apparatus coming out to say it? Or the president says, let's do an inquiry in it. Why is that not being done?
Whatever it is, I believe that we as citizens, we owe the state a duty of providing information that is needed by the state at all times. Okay. We need to do that. So if somebody has any information and the security is not approaching you for it, why can't you give it to the security? And then you can go ahead and say that, yes, even though they did not call me, but I, as a matter of responsibility, I worked to them with this information. What did they do with that? I want to see that, because sometimes if something is not forthcoming, there is a way of going around it so as to make a strong case. So I expect them that, yes, if the security has not said anything, they have not written to them, they've not called anybody, work to them with information, and let's see how they respond. And for me, that is a duty, a constitutional duty on the part of everybody.
Okay, grateful to you, sir, for joining us.
Tourists now, government in 2018 spent $3 million on drones to fight illegal mining. 7 years later, no one knows where the drones are. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, says he has found no evidence that drones even exist. So where exactly are the drones? Well, there's more in this report by Semefa Kwesu.
At the Minerals Commission, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister faced questions about the $3 million drone deal approved under the Akufo-Addo-led administration to fight illegal mining. Mr. Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa did not hold back.
I know that using modern technology is very critical in this work. And I think from here I'm going to see some geofencing activities you guys have done here and see how we can even make it bigger and expand it. Yes, there was reports of drones and other things. We interministerial committee, but I can tell you that it's probably part of the things we are looking at. I have not seen the drones since I became a minister, and I don't know exactly where they are. Maybe Mr. Isi will tell me where they are. But it is part of the many things that we are looking at.
Back in 2018, the Lands Minister, John Peter Amewu, and the Secretary of the Inter-Ministerial Committee, Charles Bissio, confirmed that 200 drones had arrived. But an investigation by the Fourth Estate revealed that none could be accounted for. Now the current minister says there's no trace of these drones anywhere at the ministry. He also addressed concerns about Parliament's move to repeal the law that permits mining in forest reserves.
We have taken the most important step to make sure that the real issue that was the concern of the people of Ghana, how do we ensure that there is no more new licenses issued in forest reserve? And we've taken the heart of that in Act 2462. I am aware of the concerns that has been raised, and as a listening government, I can tell you that the Attorney General, working closely with the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology with our support, are looking at all of that. Exactly what must we do to take the portions which are the reason why the whole act was not repealed, take it up and repackage it. But what is good for the people of Ghana is that we move quickly to make sure we can take out the power of the president to authorize money in new forest reserve. And in 21 days, that will become law and nobody will have access to a forest reserve.
The sector minister also wants the Minerals Commission to do more in the fight against galamsey. He's pledged support to expand the commission's control room, where excavators used in illegal mining are now being monitored. Rejoice Semefa Kwesu's report read to you.
Well, Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo has officially submitted her preliminary response to President John Mahama following petitions for her removal from office. The submission comes as the 10-day window for her response closes today. The petitions, which have sparked national debate, are now being reviewed as part of the consultation process with the Council of State. The outcome of this process will determine whether a committee will be set up to investigate the allegations. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court is set to hear a suit on April 9, challenging the President's authority to initiate the removal process. Let's go to the presidential correspondent, Maxwell Ababa, for more on this. Maxwell, so, I mean, what exactly are the details that you can share about Chief Justice Tokonu's response to the petitions and how it fits into the constitutional process?
Well, Grace, our sources are tight-lipped on this particular matter. In fact, we do not have details beyond the confirmation that the presidency has received the response of the Chief Justice. We do not have anything beyond that. But we've been speaking to our sources at the presidency. They are also unable to confirm to us when exactly the Chief Justice submitted her response to the presidency. But the only confirmation we have is the acknowledgement of receipt of the response of the Chief Justice. But before we got to this stage, we know the back and forth between the Chief Justice and the presidency on this matter. 2 days after President Mahama forwarded the petition to the Council of State, the Chief Justice wrote to the President raising concerns that she's not been heard on the matter. In fact, she made a strong case about the use of natural justice and said that the use of natural justice requires that she's heard on the matter. In fact, in that letter addressed to the President, she also cited some cases took back a claim, J2, Justice Attorney General and Akwete, she cited that case as well, took back a claim that she needed to be heard, before the case, before the petition, is sent to the Council of State. We know that the presidency also responded to that letter and said that that process was already in motion. In fact, in that letter written by the Executive Secretary to the President, Mahama, to the Chief Justice, he stated that the process was already underway. Indeed, the President had written to the Chairman of the Council of State, on the matter. The President also in that letter raised concerns about how the letter leaked on social media before it got.
Of course, but Maxwell, I mean, has there been any indication from the President or the Council of State regarding the next steps after receiving her response?
Well, we do not know. We do not have official information on what is going to happen, next. That we do know per the constitutional, processes. What it means now is that the President now has to petition, seeking the removal of the Chief Justice, and also now has the response, of the Chief Justice. These two would be forwarded to the Council of State, and the Council of State, together with the President, will determine whether a prima facie case has been established against the Chief Justice. If it is determined that a prima facie case has been established, then the matter is addressed. A 5-member committee would be set up to conduct a private inquiry into these allegations. But if a prima facie case is not established by the President in consultation with the Council of State, what it means is that this case is not going to progress, and the petition against the Chief Justice will be dismissed. But if a prima facie case is established, then this case is going to move forward. And the period, the time which the committee is going to be set up, the 5-member committee is going to be set up to look further into this matter. The Constitution gives the President the powers to suspend, the Chief Justice while the hearing of this case.
All right, Maxwell, I'm grateful to you for joining us with those details.
To other stories now, a man has been jailed for 3 years for stealing 6 electricity meters at Techiman. The Circuit Court handed down the sentence as NEDCO raises alarm over rising meter thefts, threatening power supply and community safety. And Asabit has more in the following report.
Electricity meter thefts are surging across the country, leaving homes in the dark and utilities scrambling. But today, A landmark court ruling here at the Techiman Circuit Court signals a turning point as the court convicted Boachi Yadomakosa to 3 years imprisonment with hard labor for stealing 6 electricity meters, a crime that's become an epidemic.
We had a call from the customer that his meters were removed. The meters were 6 in number. They were all prepaid meters. And thankfully, the community members were able to arrest the guy. So we asked them to take him to the police station, which they did. So we applaud them for being very vigilant.
Mr. Billiman told me that this case is just the beginning and a warning shot to people in this business.
We are standing on this and cautioning the general public and those miscreants who are fond of removing people's meters and selling to others that they can be caught at any time.
NEDCO is, however, warning the general public to stay away from buying meters from suspicious characters.
The citizens, the customers, the consumers alike should be on the watch out. Meters are not for sale. Whoever brings meter to you that is selling, draw the attention of the police or report to the nearest NEDCO office.
Stealing meters isn't petty theft. It is sabotage of national development, and with this conviction, NEDCO hopes to turn the tide and end the recurring stories of meter thefts. Anna Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
Well, let's get on Zoom now and speak to the Techiman Customer Service Officer at NEDCO. Thank you so much for your time here on JoyNews Prime. I just want to get an understanding of the actual situation on the ground. How widespread is this issue of meter theft in the area?
Okay, thank you, Steve, for having me. Good evening to your listeners and our cherished customers. Yes, just as the news was aired on your channel. In fact, this incident started somewhere last year that we started recording meter theft. I have some basic, some statistics here. If time will allow us, I will take us through the data.
Briefly, please, if you can.
Yes. So from July 2024 to December 2024, we recorded a total number of 13 meters that were stolen from individual customer premises by some unknown individuals. Then this year, that's January to March, a total of 15 energy meters were also stolen. If you add this together, that's a total of 28 meters were stolen from July to March this year. If you quantify it in monetary terms, it means NEDCO is losing an amount of 89,600 Ghana cedi. And what is even more worrying is that when they remove 1 meter from one premises to another and sell to unsuspecting customer, they will connect it, install it, and bypass the meter. And they will tell the customer that, oh, they should be using, they will bring them the card, which they will never do because they know that when they try, they will be caught. So during our monitoring, we are able to get some of these meters, and then we were able to take them through the necessary procedure.
Just let's get a sense of your tracking efforts so far. With all these meters stolen, how many have you been able to recover?
Yes, so far, the recent one, that the guy was caught, we have recovered it. That there were 6 in number, we recovered those ones. The other ones, we are still investigating them. We've not gotten them yet. But we have a team that we call the monitoring team. So they go on the field and we have data. So as and when they get it on the field, they will take the person out.
But this points to a bigger problem, doesn't it? How are you dealing with this at your level?
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, it's a bigger problem for us. That is why we deem it fit to come on air. We have done the necessary sensitization on the various local FM stations. We have sensitized the public that meters are not for sale at all. Yet people still go ahead and buy meters from this miscreant. So we continue to engage, to inform our customers and then prospective people who want electricity to their premises that meters are not for sale. Whoever wants electricity to be connected to his or her premises, whether in the house or in the shop or in an office, is to walk to the nearest NEDCO office. They will take the person through the necessary process. So at the end of the day, you'll be connected and you'll be billed accordingly.
We appreciate your time here on JoyNews Prime, but let's stay a bit longer on this. This time we're taking you to the northern region, where in the Kumbungu district, the Northern Electricity Distribution Company has uncovered a shocking case of widespread illegal connection in Dalun. The region, already grappling with a severe power theft issue, faces a staggering 45% monthly loss due to such activities. Now, despite efforts to crack down on this issue, residents of Dalun have gone to the extreme lengths, bypassing the grid and burying cables underground to steal electricity without paying. Now, let's speak to the Northern Regional Correspondent, Martina Bugri, for more on this. You're on the ground, Martina. Explain, how widespread is this situation?
If you talk of illegal connection in the area, it is very widespread. NEDCO says 70 to 80% of their losses stems from illegal connection. So it's not just only Dalo or Lamashegu or Tishigu, it's a regional problem. Each community you go, you would have people who would definitely steal power. And so it's a big issue that NEDCO is grappling with in the northern region.
And how are they dealing with it, really?
So as part of efforts to stem this widespread canker, in the past, they have gone to communities to try and disconnect people who have connected illegal. And in some cases, they have had people attack them. I'm told it is one of the incidents that sent them to Dalong today as part of their revenue mobilization. They were in their community. They had disconnected this community before for power theft and those who were owing. But when they got there today, it was a shocking revelation that they had buried the cables underground and then they were tapping power. We are told that NEDCO staff, in their bid to remove these things, were threatened. And so they had to run away, leaving. They actually chased them and took the cables away from them.
And so far, has the police arrived at the community? Any arrests reported so far?
So I tried to get information from the communication department of NEDCO. They say it hasn't arrived at their desk yet. They are hoping that by tomorrow they will have detailed information on what happened in the community and how they would address it going forward.
Thank you, Martina. Well, thankfully, I have with me Maxwell Kotoka. He is the Public Relations Officer for Volta River Authority in Tamale, and he joins me now to shed light on this growing problem. I just want to get a sense of what is happening in your community. Has this issue been brought to your attention?
Thank you very much. Good evening, my sister. And may I correct the designation? It's a corporate communications manager, not PRO.
Okay, that's fine.
For the name, I'll give you a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
To the matter itself, yes, we just got a report from Kumbungu, and I can only say kudos to your reporter. She got it spot on. There were very extensive cases of illegal connection. This time, a little more sophisticated than what we are used to. A good number of them buried the cables underground. So as our team, which only commenced a mass revenue mobilization and loss control exercise today, discovered these, they kept removing them. And when we remove them, it is for two reasons. One, for evidential purposes, because it's a crime and we will need to present that appropriately before the law courts. And two, it is also to disable the perpetrators from proceeding to do further illegal connections. But what happened was that each time they removed the cables, the people, the perpetrators followed them, chased them, and demanded a return of the
Exactly
cables.
where I was heading to. With this case we're experiencing, where some of your officials are being beaten and chased out by members of the community, how are you dealing with this? Have you provided security for some of these exercises as well?
Thank you very much. In the past, we had even gone into the communities with military backup. But after several instances of appeals to us that it's a service customer relationship, and so once we supply them and they are customers, they would prefer that we drop to a civil level where we are able to engage without necessarily any security backing. So for the first time, management decided that, well, let's listen to our customers, being the responsive management we are, and let's go without the military.
Will you revert to your old ways now, seeing the security implications?
Pardon me?
Will you revert to the old way of using the military, looking at the security implication on staff?
My dear sister, I'll be very grateful if you allowed me to answer your questions for the subsequent ones.
I would also like your point has been noted, and I appreciate your time. Unfortunately, I would like you to make that point for me so that we can make progress, please.
Well, like I said, the report has just gotten to us. We will do a review and we will proceed from there appropriately.
Thank you. I appreciate your time here on JoyNews Prime.
Now to other stories now. After over a year of abandoned work and worsening road conditions, construction has finally resumed on the Tema-Aflao Highway. The contractor is back on site to fix the 17-kilometer stretch from Tema Roundabout to Central University, a section left unattended since December 2022 due to funding issues. Relieved commuters say it is a long overdue step toward easing their daily struggles. Collins Frimpong has more.
The 17-kilometer stretch, which begins 1 kilometer east of the Tema Expressway roundabout and runs through Dowenya, has long been a traffic nightmare. Project stalled in December 2022 due to funding challenges, leaving commuters stranded for hours. Following renewed assurances from the new government, BHM International Construction is back on site. Their return has sparked excitement amongst commuters and residents, many of whom say the resumption is a major relief after months of frustration.
Coming from Dowenya, even they just started, but you can see the traffic is moving smoothly. Unlike the other times when you can see everywhere is choked. You can't go, you can't come anywhere. The road is so bad, and it is keeping too long. But now you can see the action.
I'm very excited as I was passing I think 3 days or 4 days ago, that I see the contractor back to the road. Very, very excited because the problem we are facing on this stretch because of the traffic, a number of kilometers that you can drive within some 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you have to spend 2 or 3 hours before you are able to drive from Dowenya, let's say Fenya Junction, to Pombaria. So the traffic is very, very stressful. So as me, particularly as I see this road, the contractors coming back working on, I was so excited. From just my housing junction, it's called Tarazo Junction, to Pombaria, the day I got it easy is an 1 hour 30 minutes. That is the day I got it easy.
I won't say you'll be requirement. I because too much.
We are excited that the contractor has resumed work. This stretch has been a real struggle for us. I use this road every day and it takes me about 3 hours to get to work. Once it is completed, we won't have to spend so much time on the road.
If you are down Accra, we are 4 or 5 hours.
Speaking to Joy News, Client Relations Manager for BHM International Construction, Wisdom Adonu, called on the government to expedite efforts to reinstate the $105 million loan facility needed to complete the project.
We have confidence in their assurances, but we would like to appeal to government to expedite the loan reinstatement process, as we have also shown good faith, as he's demanded that we should show commitment. This is our commitment. We've come back to the site and we appeal to them that they should expedite the loan processes whilst we are doing our bit.
With work now underway, the project is expected to be completed within the next 18 months. Reporting for Joy News, Collins Frimpong.
This is still the JoyNews Prime. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more. Please stay. Welcome back from the break.
Well, let's do some other stories now. Tensions over the nomination of the district chief executive have boiled over in Kumewu. Angry NDC youth have ransacked the party's constituency office, leaving a trail of destruction. Computers smashed, chairs turned over, and documents carted. The violence is linked to deepening cracks within the party over who gets the nod for Setre Kumewu DCE.
The rampaging NDC youth in the Kumewu constituency are upset with the processes and comments in certain quarters regards the nomination of their preferred candidate for the district chief executive position. They vandalized the party's constituency office, allegedly over unsavory tribal comments. They insist they will only support Shamsu Huda, the NDC deputy secretary of the constituency, for the position. The youth believe Shamsu is the most suitable candidate due to his long-standing service to the party, spanning over 24 years. NDC Kumewu constituency secretary Swale Olanto Yakubu addressed a press conference.
His efforts, contributions, sacrifice in the party at the constituency is very well recognized by all. If the grassroots endorses a person as the preferred and best candidate, is the NDC turning deaf ears to their request? Is the NDC giving appointments or positions based on origin?
The youth say if the party wants their support, the DCE candidate should not elude Shamsu Huda.
Now, in Ejura, Sechidumase hope runs dry as the cracked earth beneath farmers' feet. Here, desperate for water, smallholder farmers dig into the ground, sometimes with bare hands, praying to strike a muddy miracle. But even when they do, they must share it with livestock, risking their health for every drop. JoyNews' Michael Ashley journeyed to this parched farming community, and I report on a crisis that can no longer be ignored.
As the sun sets over Amenemu, Yakubu leads his family on their daily walk to a stream bed. With hoes in hand and hope in their hearts, they dig into the cracked earth, searching for water. The sound of metal striking the ground fills the air. But the effort yields nothing, just mud and despair. We have relied on this water source for years. During the dry season, it dries up completely, forcing us to dig with a hoe until water slowly seeps through. Even that, there is no guarantee. The water isn't just scarce, it's unsafe, tainted by grazing animals. The people, desperate for water, pay the price with their health. Both cattle and pigs come here to drink. But that's not even the worst part. Upstream, waste is dumped directly into the water, making it unsafe for us. Thanks to Rotary International and their partners, Amenemu has a borehole and a future. Randy Fiorini is a farmer from the USA.
What Rotary has done here is provide clean drinking water that will change the lives of generations for this village, and we want to repeat that over and over and again.
Each borehole, valued at $9,500, comes with a simple ask: an oath to maintain them. To ensure this, a water management committee was established in the community. For years, Yakubu and his family dug in vain. Today, they simply pump. For JoyNews, Michael Ashale.
President John Dramani Mahama is pushing for increased representation and opportunities for women in the field of science and technology. He says there is a need for creating more opportunities for women to excel in these fields, which are often neglected There's more in this report.
Building strategic partnerships between universities, industrial actors, and public institutions remain our surest way in ensuring that higher education is responsive to the needs of our economies. These collaborations will help align curricula with current market demands, promote applied research, and create pathways for students to transition seamlessly from education into employment, particularly in sectors that are critical to driving Africa's transformation. Of particular urgent attention is the stark gender disparity in science and technology, where women remain significantly underrepresented. It is imperative that academic institutions promote gender-inclusive policies and expand opportunities for women to thrive in these disciplines. In this regard, it is important to commend the African Centers of Excellence for its remarkable contribution to supporting women in STEM education. The program has made impressive strides in increasing female enrollment, offering targeted scholarships, mentorship initiatives, and building institutional cultures that recognize and respond to the unique challenges faced by women in scientific and technical careers. Equally critical is the continent's race to secure a place in the fourth industrial revolution, where digitalization, robotics, and AI are pivotal in reshaping economic development.
Well, in a related development, the Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, says for the first time, Ghana will operationalize its National Research Fund, with the government dedicating $5 million for its start.
And Mr. President, having listened to the panelists, my charge on your behalf to Ghanaian universities and researchers is that in the next 4 years to a decade, President Mahama would want to see Ghanaian University do something with traditional medicine as your contribution to the development of health and medicine in Ghana, and taking advantage of what we heard from the example in Uganda of what they've done with traditional medicine with support. On the note of welcoming you, let me assure you of President Mahama's committed to higher education and research. This year, for the first time, he would operationalize the operation of a national research fund, to which he has dedicated some $5 million for its start. And then I also heard about domestic scholarships. The president has further directed that every public university in Ghana this year will have dedicated funding from the Ghana Education Trust Fund to support 5 PhDs locally in order to build faculties.
Well, to other stories, and the Ghana Air Force on Monday officially took over guard duties at the presidency from the Navy. A short ceremony witnessed by President and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, John Dramani Mahama, was his first since his re-election. Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Aguba has more in this report.
The changing of the guard ceremony is simply a symbolic gesture that represents the transfer of responsibility for security related to guard duties at the presidency. The changing of the guard ceremony originally took place at the Palace of Whitehall, which was the King or Queen's official home in London until 1689. In Ghana, this ceremony is performed every 3 months. The presidential guard change was instituted on Wednesday, 5th May 2013. And is conducted with personnel drawn from different regiments. The Ghana Air Force on Monday officially took over guard duties at the presidency from the Navy. The short ceremony was witnessed by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, John Dramani Mahama. Other top officials who were present there were the Minister for the Interior, Defense Minister, National Security Chiefs, service commanders, and students from selected schools.
Well, you're still watching JoyNews Prime. We'll take a break here, and you know what? Becky and I will be back with Showbiz.
Indeed, and I'll be looking forward to that. Well, that's how I leave you for this segment. Bye.